Hello. So the purpose of this video is to explain how to do a schematic plan, a schematic elevation out of your preliminary plans. So what you're going to do is you're going to need a copy of your preliminary plan. And because we're going to only do the front elevation here for now, I can simply fold this, okay, and tape this down with blue tape. Okay. Now, you will need another paper to go over and cover the whole thing uh, or and you will probably need a tracing paper to go over this white area, and this is where you're going to draw. But if you don't have tracing paper, you can just go and directly write on this white piece of paper. Okay, let's just tape this down. All right, and so now you're going to need uh, your scale rule. This drawing is at 1/8 to an inch, so you find your 1/8 to an inch, and there you go. If you don't have 1/8 to an inch, 1/8 is half of a quarter. So whenever you're looking at a quarter, you're looking at 2 feet, okay? Because whenever you're looking at an eighth, it's just an 1 foot. So if you're looking at a quarter, it's basically just 2 feet because a quarter is half, twice of an eighth, or an eighth is half of a quarter. Okay. So anyway, all we have to do now is project these lines down here, left and right, to know the extents of the property, and at the same time those are the extents of the building. We have to define the ground floor, so we're going to draw a horizontal line for the ground floor, and this will be a ground floor. And at this point you should already have a your floor to floor height, and when we discussed this on our previous videos and lectures, our floor to floor height, we pegged that at a distance or a height of 14 feet. So that's going to be 14 feet at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So here's 14. Okay. And then the second floor is another 14. So here's 14. And the same thing goes over here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There you go. And then 14 is going to be over here. And then all we have to do is draw an indication line for the floor to floor height. Okay, so those are just going to guide us. Now that you know your 14 feet floor, even though this is the top of the roof, there should be a roof curve. So we're going to like draw a line to indicate the roof curve. And you can see I'm just freehanding it right now. Okay, I'm going to draw this edge too. And we're going to draw and darken this other edge. Okay. Now I know that the door on my floor plan is over here, so I'm just going to project that down like this, the edge of the door. And then doors are typically like 7 feet. Okay, so the doors are 7 feet. Simply lay out my and then count 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here's my 7 feet. All right. So here's my door at 7 feet. Now I typically wanted a transom above it, and then want to draw the door. And then the symbol for the swing is a triangle on where the door swings. So since they swing both on opposite sides, we're going to put the swing side on this one. Okay. And next, I'm going to decide whether I wanted to put a storefront. So in this case, it looks like I wanted to do a storefront. So I'm gonna um, match this with this one. And when you're doing your elevation, okay, you're projecting the doors and windows on the wall that you're projecting it on. And you may need to change, oh, I screwed that up. You may need to change your floor plan depending on how the look of your elevation wants to be. Okay. So for example, I want this total floor to be glass. Okay. And I want the same look on top. Okay. But this time I want my glass to be just above because there's going to be like a beam running across here. And if this is the floor, we have to go down at least 2 feet or more. So 2 feet maybe up to here. Okay. And so I know that there's a column somewhere here. Okay. And if you project that, that's going to go somewhere here. Now you can decide now that, hey, I don't want to see that column. And so that means that on your floor plan, you have to revise your column to go outside, which means that there's going to be a column also here exposed, and there's going to be another column here exposed. Okay. So now I can start dividing my glass. So let's say I wanted to divide this in only two pieces and this one to three pieces so they would look normal or not normal but consistent. Okay. And then I want a lower division of this mullion over here and then a higher division for the mullion on top here. So this would be my mullions. And over here, I probably wanted only that one. Okay. Next, I wanted a canopy on top of my front door. So let's say I wanted a canopy. All right. And I wanted a canopy to be held by, let's say, um, structural elements. Okay. And that's basically it. So these are the glass. Now it's time to get like a different pen. I can have a black pen or a dark pen, but it must be a thick pen. And then you can now outline the building and the ground floor. Anything that's supposed to be sticking out of that plane should also be darkened. Anything that is recessed should also be darkened. So if I wanted to recess this, and then this one also, okay, and that's basically the our building elevation. Now it's simply time to do some shadow work. So let's say I wanted to create this illusion or expression that this is recess, then I start to create shadow lines or shaded portion. Okay, I do the same thing here. The longer the shadow means the deeper it is. the deeper the object is extruding. So for example, like this one here, this is extruding, so I can do um, shadows like that, and I can make that shadow longer because it's extruding further. Okay, and then that's basically it. We're done with this one. We all have the only thing that we need to do now is add some elements like, hey, this is 7 feet. I probably want an outline of a person, okay, to give, all right, some scale to this shadow line, and however you want to do that, okay. Then you might need, if you want to, you can get like a blue pen and then start to outline the top portion of your elevation, and then let's say you wanted to do some clouds there, and then you can sort of, so these elevation or schematics, uh, these are mostly taught in architectural school and how to present them. There you go. Okay. You may also want to put in, let's say, some trees up front. Okay, and you can do that. But before that, let's say you wanted to, hey, I wanted to add like a balcony. Okay, so if you wanted to add a balcony, then you may want to create additional structure here. And then I wanted to have a wall here. Okay, you get your another thick pen and then do an outline there of the structure. And let's say the wall. And then let's say the railing. And then go get your pen and just do your railing. Since I'm going with a modern look, I wanted this horizontal pieces on the railing. There you go. Okay. Now that I added a railing to this one, I now have to add more shadows. Let me just turn off my alarm here. So just like this one, I'm gonna now add a longer shadow because let's say I wanted a balcony that shows there. Okay. Now that I have a balcony, I probably wanted a door somewhere here, and then it opens or swings this way. Okay, there you go. Sometimes you wanted to just add some texture to make sure that that's the wall. And then if you wanted to like put some shrubbery or greenery, you can do that. You can get like a pin, and let's say you wanted a palm tree here, And you can do that. That's just the shape of the tree. And then palm tree goes this way. And there's another palm tree probably here. So you can also do that. There you go. And maybe you want to put some shrubbery here. Okay. And there you have it. That's basically your elevation uh, for your floor plan. Now that's only the front elevation. You may also want to do now the elevation on this right side, but I'll leave that to you. And this is my elevation. Uh, Sometimes we also want to indicate how high the floor to floor is, and that's going to be a 14.0. Oh, I added this is 14.0, and I added like maybe a foot. Okay, and that's how to like draw a schematic elevation for your building. Okay, so if you want to draw digitally, you can use your tablet, and I'm just using Miro here, and I uploaded it so that I can see that each grid. I don't know if you can see the grid, but there's a grid there, and each grid on my Miro. Okay, let's see if I can zoom closer. Yeah, so if you can see, but over here there's a square grid, and that grid I can see through here. Okay, and so each grid on my space over here is going to be 5 feet. So each grid is 5 feet. So I set this up, and um, I can start drawing my elevation here. And so I wanted to select a gray color first. Okay, and because I know that each square grid is 5 feet, so when I do draw over here, and that's gonna be my floor. Uh, Here's my 5 feet and another 5 feet, and that's another 5 feet. So that's 15. And because I know that I will draw 14 feet for the floor to floor, okay, I will simply first set up a line type uh, for this drawing. So let's do a line, and uh, let's start from here and go all the way up to here. Okay, and that's going to be my 14 feet line. Zoom out a little bit, and I continue to draw. And basically, what once I have my 14 feet floor to floor, that'll be another 14 feet here. So that's going to be 5, 10, and 15. So my other 14 feet floor will be somewhere over here. I'm just going to sketch freehand. All right, and this is the side of my building. And according to my floor plan up here, the my entrance is going to be on this side. So my entrance is going to be somewhere here. Okay, and that's closer to 10 feet. So I was hoping I could get a bigger or taller door. In any such case, if I wanted to have like a canopy over my door, then I draw that as well. Okay. And then if I decide that I'm going to have a full storefront, then I can draw that as well. Okay, maybe over the door. And maybe I think I have a column somewhere here, so that column will start to be part of the wall. Okay. And then I can now start to draw my different window pieces or the frames around that window. Typically going to have that one close to the floor. And let's say I want to do this kind of division and somewhere over here. All right. And then so you can sketch um, your your elevation, and you can make this have some little bit of presentation, okay, by thickening out the outlines. Right? And drawing in straight lines sometimes is a little bit challenging, especially if you didn't take any um, drafting classes in college, and so that could be a problem. But remember, this is only a scheme of what your building will look like on the elevation. Okay, and certainly you can add like shadows to your building, and shadows help us understand the elevation better. Whoa, whoa, what happened here? Oh, there you go. Just bonking out on me. There's just a lot of drawings, and I guess my tablet can't keep up with my drawing. This is a certainly old tablet, and well, anyway, I'm not gonna continue, but I'm just showing you how to draw or digitally draw on a tablet, and that's good enough for Scheme. And one of the problems is that this elevation is flat, and you're the only ones who understand this. I tried to draw some lines here to indicate shadows, but you can see it's like bonking out on me right now because my tablet is a little bit old, and because it's old, it might be too much. Okay, so again, shadows is something that you also learn from a class when you take architectural when you go to architectural school, and okay, and here's my okay, there you go. All right. So anyway, some people wants to some elevations you try to draw like a representation of a person just to put on scale, like how big is that person going to be? Okay, and that's basically just representation of your elevation. Okay, and that's certainly good enough. But as I was telling you guys a while ago, this is flat, and you're the only one who understands this because this is your scheme. This is certainly not that you're going to present to an owner unless you have completed a sketch and it looks good enough for presentation, totally understandable and everything like that. Okay, it doesn't have to have colors on it. Certainly, you can add colors if you want to. Uh, you can add thicker lines there to indicate, ground level. Okay, or certainly you can add shading on it. Uh, like here's the sky, and here's my shade on it. and stuff like that. So you can definitely do that on this drawing. So here's my sky, right? And again, different apps work differently. I'm just using Miro here. Uh, I haven't really fully embraced digital drawing yet, but I think it's a feature for architects. Maybe some trees. That's not a good color. Yeah. So again, this is your sketch, and that's just a basis of how you're going to do your building or what would your building look like when you are finished and done, and that's good enough. But this is your own personal sketch. We go through it as designers. Put something on paper, put something on sketch by hand, and then from here you have a basis of what to do, and that's going to be um, what you will have to do as the next step in your design process. I don't personally do it like this. I actually envision my elevation using a 3D program, and so let me show you how that is done. So nowadays I use this 3D software called SketchUp to visualize the building's elevation in front, on the sides, or even what's going to happen on the roof line. And so I'll show how do you do this on a separate video. But yeah, you can do your design traditionally by drawing. You can do your schematic elevation using a iPad or tablet, or you can visualize your elevation using a 3D software like SketchUp. Okay, so I'll create another video on how to visualize your elevation using SketchUp.